Hi, my name is Emily Napier, and I am the co-founder of Get Fit Now Personal Training. I'm so excited that you've decided to join me for this webinar. We're going to be covering how to set goals that stick, and I'm going to be sharing with you 5 proven strategies that are going to ensure that you reach your goals. But before we begin, I need your commitment on something. So I want you to commit to being fully present during this webinar. I want you to grab a pen and paper right now if you don't already have one handy, and I want you to take notes. And if questions come to mind, write them down, and then I want you to email those to me after. And I'm going to give you my email at the end, but if you have your pen and paper handy right now, you can go ahead and write it down. It's Emily, E-M-I-L-Y, at getfitnowpt.com. All right, so first things first, I want you to tell me if you have ever tried setting a weight loss or any other kind of goal before. And next, I want to know if you were able to reach that goal. Look, you're not alone. If you answered that question no, or kinda, or maybe, you're not alone. I'm going to share some statistics with you that when I was preparing this webinar, I came across, and they're centered around goal setting. So in the New Year's resolution sense, and just general goals, and how many times the average American will set the same goal. So I'm going to share these with you, and I think it's going to provide you some powerful insight. So 25% of people abandon their New Year's resolutions after just 1 week. You heard me, 1 week. Now, for those that manage to push past that week, 60% of them abandon their goal within 6 months. And the average person makes the same resolution 10 separate times without success. So look, you got to stay tuned because we're going to make sure that you don't become a part of these statistics. Now, only 5% of those who lose weight on a diet keep it off. 95% of them regain it, with many gaining more than they had originally lost. Now, what I wanted to share when it comes to this statistic is a lot of women who come into our program have tried fad diets. And when I say fad diets, I'm talking about crazy juice cleanses, right? Where all you do is drink juice for 3 months and that's all you have. Or really restrictive meal plans where you're having to sit there and count calories and macros and you can only eat certain things at certain times. And that's great if you have a short-term goal in mind. And I want to reframe me saying it's great. It's doable if you have a short-term goal in mind. So if you know that you have to restrict those calories or, only drink juice for 30 days, in your mind, some of us can last for that 30 days. But the minute 30 days ends, that diet ends. And so then we're going to binge eat and eat everything we can find because we're starving and we're going to gain all of that weight back plus some. So when it comes to setting weight loss goals and when it comes to diet and nutrition, that could be a whole nother, presentation that I do or cover. Again, you have my email, so if that's something you're struggling with, definitely reach out to me. But you want to make sure that you're sticking with something that's realistic and something that you can follow in the long term. Now, this is another statistic, and this really hit home because one of our family members recently suffered from a heart attack, and thankfully they are fine now. They are recovering great. They were actually out, I think running around the other day with our little niece. But even after a heart attack, only 14% of patients make any lasting changes around eating or exercise after a heart attack. And we actually have a client in our private Facebook group. I had shared with our members this presentation a couple days ago before I wanted to post it for all the women outside of the Get Fit Now community. And she told me that she's a nurse in a hospital, and she said, Emily, I would beg to differ that it's even lower. And she said it's not just centered around a heart attack, it's really anything. She said we'll have patients that will come in and, it's life-threatening either diseases or, medications that they're going to have to start taking are not enough to give people kind of that little kick that they need to get it together when it comes to healthy eating and exercise. Now, I want to cover whether this is going to be worth your time and valuable to watch. So you're in the right place if you've been working on the same goal year after year with little to no progress. Or if you start working towards your goal full steam ahead, only to find that your progress is halted once life throws something crazy at you. And I like to share this story, but when I was growing up, my dad would always tell me that life throws huge trees in our road all the time. And we have two options. One, we can go around the tree, which is what a lot of people would do. So they would drive around. But think of how long some of these huge trees are. That would take a lot of time, drive all the way around it. Or when life throws us these hurdles, we can learn to jump over them and keep going, right? Because if I decide to jump over that tree, that's a lot shorter distance. So what I want to help you do and what I want to empower you to do throughout this webinar is to jump over those hurdles. We just have to expect that that's going to happen. It's just part of life, right? But by setting clear goals, which is what we're going to be covering, you're going to be much more equipped for when those hurdles do come into play. Also, if you're tired of trying to lose the same 10, 20, or 30 pounds and you're ready to finally crack the weight loss code, you're in the right place. Now, before we get into the good stuff, the meat and potatoes, I want to make sure that you got a copy of our amazing goal setting worksheet. So we're going to be diving deeper into the goal setting strategies, and I created a goal setting worksheet that can get you started on your goals. So what I would recommend doing right now is write down your goals on the sheet of paper that you have in front of you, but at the very end, you're going to have the option to get this and to download this goal setting worksheet. So definitely stick around. Then you can transfer all your goals over. So now I want to go a little bit into about me. Like I said before, my name is Emily Napier, and for those that don't know me, I am the owner of Get Fit Now Personal Training. So my husband and I actually started Get Fit Now around 7 years ago when we were freshmen at Georgia State University, and over the past 7 years, we have helped thousands of women stick to a fitness routine and permanently master healthy eating habits. So here's what you're going to learn in today's workshop. So you're going to learn one single strategy that will instantly make you 42% more likely to accomplish your goals. I don't know, but I hope that gets you pretty excited. 42% more likely to accomplish your goals. And we're also going to cover how to quit-proof your goals to ensure that you can achieve them finally once and for all. And here's what you're going to also learn from hanging out today. So you're going to learn a simple yet powerful principle that will enable you to stop procrastinating and enable you to become a massive action taker. Clarity on the next steps that you need to take to start accomplishing the things that matter to you most and to help you stop drifting and start creating the life that you want. And I love this quote. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. So now I want to go into how many of you believe in the power of written goals. So I'll let you know, Dustin and I are huge believers in written goals. So we write down our goals when it comes to our health, when it comes to our careers, our, personal life, as far as our marriage, our family goals. And we write down our goals every morning when we wake up so that our whole day is centered around achieving them. And then we also take time every night to write them down again, because then we're going to bed and we're just kind of recentering ourselves after a crazy day with, what the heck we're working towards. And it gets us pumped up and excited. Now, if you do believe in goals, how many of you actually write down your goals? It's surprising that, there's a bunch of studies out there that show that people who write their goals accomplish significantly more than those who don't. So it's one thing you kind of have goals floating around in your head. It's another to actually write those down, make them concrete. People who set goals are happier, they live longer, and they make more money. And now we're going to kind of go into the strategies and dive into all of this a little bit more. So strategy number 1 is you want to keep your goals few in number. Okay, so you want to keep your goals to around 7 to 10 goals a week. And psychologists have stated that if you go beyond that 10 threshold, you just can't focus on more than that. And these goals need to be balanced throughout your life. So yes, I own a fitness studio, but I'm not telling you every week to set 7 to 10 fitness related goals. I'm telling you, you need to have 7 to 10 goals that are going to cover every aspect of your life. Maybe 3 of those are centered around health and fitness. Maybe 2 of those are centered around your career. And maybe you have 3 goals that are centered around your personal things that you want to accomplish. Maybe it's buying a house. Maybe it's becoming debt free. So again, don't set more than 7 to 10. That's kind of that magic number. Here are some of the different goals. You have work goals. You should have personal goals. And you should have self-care goals. Now, when I say self-care goals, that goes into the, health and fitness arena. Strategy number 2 is you want to make your goals smarter. So I don't know if you've ever seen this acronym, but it's been everywhere, but it's make your goals smart. And I went ahead and I took it one step further, and I wanted you to make smarter goals. So we're going to go into that now and what that stands for. So the S stands for specific. You have to have goals that identify exactly what you want to accomplish with as much specificity as possible. So here's an example of a bad goal. I want to lose weight. Now, this is much more aspirational than anything, let's be honest. There's 90% of the population that would easily say that they want to lose weight. But again, this is not a specific enough goal just yet. Now, if you were to say, I want to lose 10 pounds of fat, that's much more specific and well on its way to being a good goal. The M stands for measurable. You want your goals to be measurable. An old adage says that you can't manage what you don't measure. So you want a goal that is measurable so that you can know when you've achieved it and check it off. A bad goal might be to say, I want to make more money this year. That's not very specific, and it's not something that you can measure to the extent of knowing whether or not you had reached it. A better way to say this would be, I want to make $5,000 more this year than last year. And that makes it both specific and measurable since you know when you've reached that amount. You have to have the line where you know whether you've won or you've lost and whether what you're doing currently is measuring up to get you there. So an example of this in the fitness arena would be, I want to reduce my body fat percentage by 22% by the end of the year. A stands for actionable. Every goal should begin with an action verb, like quit, run, finish, eliminate, etc., rather than a verb. A bad example would be, I want to be more consistent with working out. Now, a good example would be, I want to work out 3 times a week, or I want to have one date night every week with my spouse. Those would definitely be actionable goals. R, realistic. Now, here's where you have to be careful. When I say realistic, I'm not saying that your goals should be within your comfort zone. They have to be in your discomfort zone. Not in a delusional zone, but just sitting in your discomfort zone. So we have 3 different zones. Human beings have 3 different zones. We have our comfort zone, we have our discomfort zone, and then we have our delusional zone. One giant thing that you should always remember is that change happens in your discomfort zone. So here would be a bad example of an unrealistic goal for me. So an unrealistic goal for me would be to say, I'm going to qualify for the PGA Tour this year. Now, I'm terrible at golf, and even if I was decent at golf, this would be unrealistic, and I would be just setting myself up for failure. Now, a good example would be to say, I want to lower my handicap by 3 strokes. This is still outside of my comfort zone, and I would still have to push myself to get there, but that is a goal that I could achieve and that it would have meaning to me, significance. T stands for time bound. Every goal you set needs to have a date assigned with it. This is the difference between having an aspiration and having a goal. If it doesn't have a date, it isn't a goal, it's just an aspiration. The great thing about a deadline is that it creates urgency and it drives action. A bad example would be to say, I want to lose 20 pounds. Now, if you were to say, I want to lose 20 pounds by June 1st, this completely changes things. Deadlines are very, very important, and they're powerful, especially when it comes to goal setting. An important thing to consider with setting deadlines with goals is to make sure that all of your goals don't have the same deadline, because then it's going to be a good way to let yourself out of those goals, right? So you could hit the panic button or just completely blow them all off. Next, you want to make sure your goals are exciting. So your goal has to be compelling. It can't be something that's so incremental or something that someone else wants you to do. It has to be something that gets you excited personally. So a personal example of something for me would be going on a cruise. that would be a story, that would be a goal for me that would get me really, really excited. So I love to travel. Travel is one of my absolute favorite things. I have on my vision board, I want to take go on a world cruise someday. It's about 6 months and you literally get to travel the world. So that would be a exciting target. It would be a goal. If I accomplished that goal, it would be something that excites me. Now, remember, I have 7 to 10 goals. So what I do is if I have a certain goal, like for example, I just recently graduated from law school, and my goal for my prize for myself, I guess you could say, for graduating law school was a trip to Hawaii. That trip had been on my bucket list for years and years and years. I had visualized getting to go to Hawaii, and so I said, you know what, when I finish law school, that's it. I'm going to take the bar, and then we're going to go to Hawaii. And so we did. And that was something towards the end when finals got super crazy, and the bar was just, oh my goodness, the bar was terrible. But knowing that I had that Hawaii trip to look forward to, it was something that got me really pumped up. All right, now we're going to talk about R, and the R is relevant. So your goals have to be relevant to where you are in your life. So for me, I can spend an hour every single day in the gym because we don't have children yet, and I run my own business. And I'm in a place where I can afford to do that, and it's relevant to where I am in life. For you, you might have a full-time job, 3 kids, etc. So 7 days a week might not be relevant to where you are in your life. So you can't measure your place by someone else's. We need to take a step back and let ourselves off the hook and be honest with what is relevant to your season in life. Sometimes we can be so idealistic that we have the mentality that we'll settle for nothing but the best or nothing at all, and then we end up doing nothing. So it's really important to be honest and to know if it's going to be relevant, or if you have if you need to be setting a goal for something less ambitious right now given where you are in life. Strategy number 3. Now it's time to talk about writing down your goals. Few people do this, but there's an incredible power in just writing your goal down. It's almost like you're taking the first step in your intention towards bringing that goal into reality. When you write those goals down, it's almost like telling your subconscious mind to look for a way to make it happen. But if you just think them, they tend to come and go. It's a much more powerful experience when you write them down. And again, we're going to touch on this. So your subconscious mind, when we're writing down our goals, when we write them down, our brain is going to help us try to figure out ways to solve them. Now, if we don't, it's almost like our brain doesn't really take them seriously because we haven't written them down. It's just kind of a thought floating around, and our brain isn't going to try to sit there and hash out what it needs to do. In fact, there's research done by a Dominican University by Dr. Gail Matthews, and she studied a group of those who did write down their goals and a group that didn't. The group that did write their goals, she found that just by writing their goals down and doing nothing else, it increased the likelihood of achieving that goal by 42%. So why wouldn't you write your goals down? This is just that quote. I thought it looked pretty that I just told you. Strategy number 4 is you want to make sure you're reviewing your goals frequently. This is by far the number one reason that most people don't achieve their goals. And I'm completely guilty of this from time to time. By not looking at them frequently, you forget the importance of the goals, and you get caught up in life and you lose focus, and everything else grabs your attention and pulls you away. Now, something that I've gone ahead and done in the past is printing out my goals and laminating them so I can keep them at my desk and my bedside table so I can read them frequently and they're at the front of my mind. I've even taken them a step further and I've made Post-it notes. So I'll write each individual goal on a Post-it note and I'll put them somewhere like on the fridge or at my desk or on my mirror in the bathroom. If you want to go even further than that, what you could do is you could make them the screensaver on the back of your phone. So every time you go to make a call, check a text, look at your notifications, you would see those goals. Imagine how many times you would see those goals throughout the day. And like I said, you have to keep them in a place that it's convenient for you to read them often. So you want to be reading them daily. It keeps them present to you. And after you've been reviewing them daily, you can kind of switch over to reviewing them once a week. Now, I still recommend always reviewing them daily. Some studies show that, like I said, after you've kind of been reviewing those goals for several weeks, you can switch over to weekly. But personally, I found that it's much more effective for me to review my goals daily. Now, you have to ask yourself, what actions can I take this week to make progress towards your goal? Again, if you're setting weekly goals instead of big monthly goals, I would evaluate this daily. So if you're setting a goal, a 7-day goal, every day you need to wake up and you need to ask yourself what actions you can take that day to make progress towards your goal. Now, strategy number 5 is you want to share your goals selectively. Now, in the past, I used to share my goals with anyone that would listen and to everyone that would hold me accountable. But then I heard a great TED Talk by Derek Shivers, and he talked about the follies about sharing your goals publicly. And he said that what happens is your brain thinks that it has already accomplished that goal. In other words, you get the same psychological satisfaction as if you had actually accomplished that goal already. So you want to make sure that you're sharing your goals with those who are going to support you. Now, if you share your goals selectively with people that will support you, so no negative naysayers, and with people who will hold you accountable, that is actually a great step to keep you on track and motivated and accountable for hitting those goals. It's important to have someone that you'll feel safe sharing these goals with. It could be your spouse, a friend, maybe a boss or business partner or a coach, someone that's going to be sympathetic but also call you out if you start making excuses. Let me clarify. Now, not nag you, but just keep you aligned with those goals. So someone that's going to help keep you encouraged. For our members, we created a private Facebook group for them. And every week we get members to post their goals because it is a safe environment. And then the coaches and the other women in the group are there to hold you accountable for hitting those goals that you put out there. And then we're also here to kind of call you out in a loving way if we see things that you could be doing to hit those goals faster, or if we notice that you're kind of doing counterintuitive things to those goals. So let's take a second to recap. So we discussed the 5 strategies to help you crush your goals. Number 1, it was don't set too many goals. So you want to have no more than 10. 2, you want to make them smarter. So specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, timely, exciting, and relevant. Sorry, I'm getting so excited about this. Next, you want to make sure you're writing those goals down. You want to review them frequently, and you want to share them selectively. All right, so how do you apply everything that you've learned today, and why should you set goals? Why is it important, and why do you need to do this right now? One thing to consider is that it takes less time than you think, and it pays huge dividends for such a small investment. To me, navigating life without goals is like piloting a ship without a rudder. So how do you go through life when you have no idea where you're going? Many people I know end up at destinations that they didn't choose because they just kind of drifted into that life. Also, the joy and satisfaction of accomplishing the things that are most important to you are at stake. If you really want to achieve a life that matters, and if you want to, at the end of your life, not have any regrets, and if you want to look back with fulfillment and think, wow, I really accomplished some great things, you need to set goals. That's where it starts, and it's easy. Now, taking that even beyond just your goals, this is an amazing activity to do with your children if you have them. One thing that you might not realize is just how much your behavior shapes their behavior. Having goals and talking about goals in an open environment is so important to shaping your kids in terms of encouraging them to think forward and work on improving themselves and make progress. The more you can get into the habit of setting goals, reviewing goals, and making progress towards those goals, not only benefits you, but also has a tremendous ripple effect on the youngsters in your family. So I'm going to share some of our member stories. So this is Lisa. She's actually lost more than 25.7 pounds now, more than 23.2 inches, and she has dropped more than 10.7% body fat. This picture was taken about 6 months back. But Lisa comes in, she comes into our program and has the most contagious energy that you could find. And every week she sets out her goals in the group. So every Sunday she posts her top 3 goals for the week. They're goals that, are measurable, they're specific, and they're outside of her comfort zone, but they're something that she can achieve. And as you see, that is helping her in tremendous ways. She is seeing fabulous results. I think she's back to her pre-wedding weight. This is Holly. Same thing with Holly. She has lost over 13 pounds, and setting goals was a huge part of that, and being clear on where she wanted to go, clear on her drive, clear on her mission as far as stepping foot in our gym, and why she was there and why she wanted to reach those goals. Holly has a young daughter, so she kind of experienced that ripple effect by setting those goals and getting her daughter involved in the goal setting process as well. So do you see how powerful goal setting can be for your results when done correctly? I really want you to remember that nothing that I've gone over today is theory. This is exactly what we do every day with our members, and it's a huge reason why our members have such great success. So I'm not exactly sure why you showed up here today, but I bet I can guess that you're sick and tired of trying to lose the same 5, 10, or 20 pounds that you've been trying to lose over and over and over. Or you're capable of more and you want to really reach your true potential, and it feels like, but you're kind of struggling because it feels like the cards are stacked against you. You have 1,000,001 things to do and you don't know how to find time to put yourself first. And maybe you just want to be told exactly what to do and how to do it so that you can reach your goals and see real results in your fat loss efforts, to get more muscle tone, to fit into smaller clothes that are sitting in the back of your closet, or just to feel better, just to have more energy. Now, I'm sure you're saying, all right, Emily, how do I do this for myself so I can start making progress quickly and easily? Well, I have a few options. You can choose to go the complicated and confusing route. And in the complicated and confusing route, you can choose to go the way that you've been going and try to figure it out. Maybe spending another year trying this diet or that gym while wasting time and money and feeling more and more frustrated. Or you can choose the simple and strategic way and finally get the results that you've been wanting so you can move on to bigger and better things in your life. I'm sure you can guess which way I want you to go, and hopefully that will make the most sense to you as well. And that's why I'd like to introduce you to our Female Transformation Program. The Female Transformation Program is the absolute fastest way to get incredible fat loss while gaining energy, strength, and confidence, because it's a complete and proven system. So with our Female Transformation Program, here's what you get. So you'll come into the studio and train with us either 2, 3, or 4 days a week. And we are open Monday through Saturday with over 42 sessions available. You're going to get a printed copy of our Female Transformation Meal Plan. Now, this meal plan for your first 9 weeks actually maps out exactly what you'll have for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and your snacks. And we're even going to send you with a grocery list every week to make grocery shopping easy. These recipes in this meal plan are delicious. You can still have taco night. We're going to just switch a few things up. You could still have spaghetti, pizza. We even have some donut. We made a fabulous donut recipe because we had a lot of members saying they were craving donuts. So guess what? We made an awesome protein donut recipe. If you have young children, they can follow this meal plan with you so you don't have to sit there and try to cook 2 separate meals. We are also going to get the Get Fit Now accountability group. So we have hundreds of fabulous ladies in the Atlanta area that are in this group, and they are here to help support and motivate you on your journey in addition to the coaches. You're going to get to join us for weekly cardio challenges. So when you come into the studio, we're focused on targeted strength training with you. But another level of that accountability and support outside of the gym is our weekly cardio challenges, where we all get in a group and we compete to see who can get the most steps for the week. We also do weekly weigh-ins to track your progress. And I know that can sound scary, but we track progress in 3 ways. So we're not just focused on a number on a scale. We also want to look at your inches. So making sure your inches are decreasing, which would result in your clothes fitting better. Like I said, we're going to pull those skinny jeans out of the back of your closet and dust them off, and you're finally going to get back into them. And we also do your body fat percentage to make sure you're losing stubborn body fat and packing on lean muscle. We have monthly Get Fit Now outings. We do fun things like canvas and cocktails. We go hiking together. We're holding a cooking class with our members this month. So just fun. Again, we want to rally you behind the Get Fit Now community. It is super awesome. You're also going to get daily motivation and accountability and much, much more. And you're probably wondering, well, how do you get those results? So at Get Fit Now, we do a combination of targeted strength training. We are a women's only gym, so targeted strength training for women. We do high intensity interval cardio training during the sessions, but it's only for a split minute, right? Because when you're in the studio with us for 45 minutes, our main focus is that strength training. We do burst of the interval training though to get your heart rate back up and really get you in that fat burning zone. You're going to get nutritional support and you're going to get accountability. We are going to hold your feet to the fire to make sure you are hitting the goals that you have set out. So again, like I said, 2, 3, or 4 days a week, we have an app that you will download and you'll get to pick whatever days and times work best for you. You can switch them up every week depending on your schedule. We have a shower at the studio, and here is actually a schedule just to show you. So you'll see on Monday and Wednesday, we do legs and abs at the studio. These are 2 completely different workouts. So one might be focused on more of your glutes, and another might be focused more on your hamstrings and quads, so the front and back of your leg. Then we have Tuesday and Thursday are upper body and ab days. Friday we have a cardio ab blast, and Saturday is a full body workout. You'll see all of our sessions start at the half hour and they last for 45 minutes. Like I was telling you a second ago, we do those weekly weigh-ins to track your progress. Now, the target at the studio is for our members to lose at least 1 pound a week. And if you don't lose a pound, then our coaches are there to give you some support and guidance for what you can do differently next week to make sure you hit that goal. So we're not just going to send you out there and say, oh, it's okay, Jane. I know this week wasn't a great week, but next week will be better. It's better because we're going to give you a system and tips to make sure it's better. Printed copy of the Transformation Meal Plan. This thing is beautiful. I wish I had the camera flipped around to where I could actually show you the book, but it's over 500 pages. You've got those 9 weeks of meal plans and grocery lists, and then we have over 350 Get Fit Now approved recipes in that book for you as well. The accountability group is fabulous. It's a private Facebook group, so your friends will not even be able to see that you're in the group. So it's a judgment-free zone. Our members share non-scale victories in the group. We share things that we're struggling with. We share victories together. We set goals in the group. And then we also, the coaches, one of my big goals is every week I'm posting some new recipe ideas for you, tips, and just new things to consider in fun weekly challenges. And using our proven system, you can expect to gain control of fat loss once and for all. You're going to easily be able to fit into that little black dress and the other clothes that you've been dying to get back into. You're going to build a healthy lifestyle that sticks, and you're never going to have to worry about those unwanted pounds creeping back on. Not only that, you're going to regain your energy and regain your confidence. So there's going to be no more hiding behind baggy clothes and trying to avoid cameras when it's picture time. Again, I wanted to share 2 more of our members' stories. This is Karen. She lost 8.5 pounds and 11 inches with us in just 21 days. And this is Stacy. She lost 6 pounds and 3% body fat in just 1 week. Now, this is you're seeing 28 days and 1 week. So imagine what you can achieve over 12 weeks or 24 weeks. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Are you ready to finally get the body you want using a proven transformation system? So you're probably asking yourself right now, okay, so all this sounds perfect, but what is the investment? Well, the thing is that you could go out on your own and waste valuable time and money without seeing any results, or you could save yourself tons of time and frustration by investing in a proven system that's guaranteed to work. And that's exactly why we created the Female Transformation Program, to help women like you reach their goals in the shortest amount of time possible. Now, the total value of what I'm going to be showing you in 2 seconds is $6,916. So this kind of shows you just the breakdown of what, if you were to pay for everything that we're going to give you individually, how much it would cost. So if you were to train 4 days a week, it would be $5,200. That's the value. Okay, if you were to go to most gyms and get a semi-private session in the Atlanta area for a year, that's how much you would pay. Now, if you wanted to get our transformation meal plan, we actually do not even sell this book. So we have people who come to us all the time, and this book is only given to the women in our program. But if we were to sell it, we would sell it for around $697. That's how much people have paid for Dustin and I to create custom meal plans for them, and it's nothing near what's included in this book. Weekly weigh-ins, like I said, tracking your progress, so doing the inches, your body fat percentage, and weigh-ins for every week for a year. That's around $520 is what you would have to pay somewhere. And the accountability group that we've created, again, I've seen programs out there where they're charging $499 plus for groups like what we have created for you. But you're not going to pay anywhere near that, so you don't have to worry. We have programs at our studio that start as low as $25 a week. Yes, you heard me right, $25 a week. And all of our programs include all of those things that I was telling you. So there's not a separate price if you want to be weighed in. There's not an upsell price for the meal plan. There's not an upsell price for coming to the outings. All of that is included. We have put all of that together for you, and it's built into the price. So like I said, our memberships start at $25 a week and go up. The only difference in price is the number of days that you want to train and just how detailed you want that nutritional counseling. And to kind of further clarify that, some women want every week for the whole time that they're with us, those meal plans written out with grocery list. So that would be one of our elite training memberships if you wanted something like that. But if you love the transformation meal plan, like I said, that is something that is included whether you do 2 or 3 days a week. Now, I've got a fast action offer, and this is available today only. So you need to go to this link right now. It's https://sandyspringsfitnessstudio.com-25. Go there right now, because what we're doing for today only is that for $25, you'll get 1 VIP training session and a pair of our limited edition women's weight training gloves. So here's what's going to happen, and here's what you can expect. So I'm going to fill you in on what will happen next. So when you go to this site, when you go to this website, so sandyspringsfitnessstudio.com-25, you're going to see this offer for $25. Now, like I said, that includes your VIP training session. You're going to get to pick the day and time that work best for you this week. So it's not a certain time that we're going to make sure you can make it into that session. It's not a set time on our end. It's based on what works best for you. During that session, you're going to come into the studio. We're going to take you on a tour. We're going to show you around. It's like an extension of our home, and we want you to feel the love and feel welcome. You're also going to do an awesome 45-minute training session with one of our coaches, where you'll have the opportunity to ask our coaches any questions that you have. You're also going to be with some of the other women in the Get Fit Now program during that session. We cap our sessions out at 8 women per session, with 1 trainer. So, but depending on the time you come, you might only be in the session with a couple other ladies. But you can ask them questions as well. So, how did they feel when they first started the program? Do they have any tips? Do they have any guidance? Our members get really excited when new women join the Get Fit Now community, so they will be more than willing to help you along your journey, just like all the transformation coaches. After that session, what we'll do is we'll sit down and go over your goals in depth. So you've now taken notes based on this goal setting webinar, and I'm going to be emailing you that goal sheet since you stuck around until the end. So you could even fill that out and bring it with you to the first session. And then what we want to do is go over those smarter goals that you set, and our job is to figure out how to help you get to those goals in the fastest time possible while eliminating confusion, eliminating overwhelm, and we can figure out which program option is going to work best for you. So whether coming in 2 days a week, 3 days a week or whether coming in 4 days a week is best. And we can also figure out which level of that nutritional counseling is going to be best for you. Like I said, don't worry, you're going to pay nowhere near $6,800 for the memberships at our studio. We have a bunch of different options just depending on what you personally need. We don't have a cookie cutter program for everyone. We're going to build this out based on what you need. So I am so grateful that you stayed tuned, that you listened to this whole webinar. I would love for you guys to email me. I would love to see your goals, and I look forward to seeing you in the studio this week. Go right now. So go to SandySpringsFitnessStudio.com-25. We are going to be capping this out at just 20 spots. So once those spots are full, that's going to be it. And the weight training gloves are super cute. They're teal. They've got our little logo on them. So there's something that you can use when you're coming in and doing your strength training sessions, and you'll feel really official. I'll see you soon.